I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Welcome, Kate. We're very excited to have you, and we're all anxious to hear your thoughts from an energy company perspective on all things circular and kicking off this great week here in New York. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Christian. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak at this year's Circular City Week. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there in person. I would say, the priorities align perfectly with how we manage our business at Enel and are driving towards a more sustainable future. I do have a few slides. Let's see if I can manage this. It's always a little hair-biting. Can you see my slides?
Perfectly. Carry on.
Wonderful. Well, so thank you again. For those of you maybe unfamiliar with Enel, we're one of the largest renewables companies in the world, with nearly 70,000 employees spread across 30 countries. You can certainly see how Enel can have an impact on the world by our global footprint. In North America, Enel is a global clean energy leader and innovator that's electrifying the economy with a mission to combat the climate crisis and build a low-carbon future.
Kate, can you hear me?
As the most
We just want. Sorry to interrupt, Kate. We just have another box in front of the screen. Is there a way you can lower that or get rid of, minimize that? Yes, thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. So many screens to manage. Okay, thanks for letting me know. So, as I was saying, as the most recent UN IPCC International Panel on Climate Change reports tell us, to reach our ambitious climate goals, we need to deploy widespread electrification plus massive renewables right now. And to help to contribute to these goals, Enel announced last year at our Capital Markets Day that we will be investing $190 billion in the next 10 years. We also announced that we will be pushing up our company's net zero goal by 10 years from 2050 to 2040 for both direct and indirect emissions. So some folks may wonder what an energy company what we care about circularity. At Enel, we've been integrating circularity into our strategy for years. We know that the principles of a circular economy are tightly linked to the energy transition and are critically important both for our company and our global community. Transitioning to clean energy is necessary, but it's not enough by itself. We must also find new ways of creating value which are self-sustaining and circular. By taking advantage of the circular economy, we help to create shared value and can achieve environmental and economic goals at the same time. Together, we will continuously drive towards the achievement of greater circular outcomes throughout our projects and products, extending our commitments to creating shared value in the communities where we work and live, applying regenerative land use models for solar, and enabling our customers and partners to achieve their sustainability goals. Our stated purpose is open power. We are ensuring our services reach more and more people to leave no one behind and to make the planet a more welcoming place for future generations. We want all stakeholders at the table. We partner with customers, communities to be inclusive because the just transition means every voice is heard and considered. So here you can see our approach to circularity being centered on 5 pillars, and it really begins the design phase. Right from the onset, we focus on the entire value chain of products. As we develop energy solutions for our customers, we are upstream, and therefore we realize our role as enablers of a more circular approach. This includes our materials strategy, and during 2021 Capital Markets Day, we reaffirmed our commitment to circularity by increasing our target for circularity for the group to 92% by 2030. The product as a service business model is another core pillar of our circularity strategy. As the provider and owner of assets, we are incentivized to optimize its use and longevity. Finally, it's critical to preserve the value of a good at the end of its life cycle through reuse, regeneration, upcycling, or recycling. For example, we're looking at ways to take disused EV batteries and giving them a second life, And we're testing innovative solutions with partners for decommissioned wind blades to maximize the reuse and recycling of materials and components. So as we think about circularity and decarbonization, it's also important to think about and acknowledge the net zero commitments we're seeing large companies across the globe make. In order to be net zero, truly, it's imperative for companies to address Scope 3 emissions, the value chain both downstream and upstream across every company. According to the CDP, Scope 3 emissions are on average 11 times higher than operational emissions. So these companies that are making these ambitious climate commitments, including ours, have to embrace circular economy principles. For upstream activities, this means working with suppliers to understand and address their own emissions footprints. At Enel, we're putting our money where our mouth is, as we've implemented a scoring model as part of our procurement practices, known as K-Factor, to assess and select suppliers that takes into account the sustainability and application of circular economy principles. This is inspired by the open power vision that encourages us all to form part of a network that will provide new solutions to build a sustainable future. For Scope 3 downstream activities, our product as a service model ensures our approach to interacting with the customer changes from a single one-off transaction and more towards a collaborative experience where we work together to get products returned for recycling or reuse. At NLX, we're working with our customers to help them create strategies and engage stakeholders and suppliers to address these shared challenges. Throughout the week, in collaboration with our partners, including Sarah and Era, you'll have the opportunity to hear from my colleagues across Enel, to talk about all the ways that we are helping drive a circular economy and incorporating circularity principles, including the role fleet electrification has in strengthening the circularity in our cities. There is much to be done, but we're optimistic and believe through collaboration we can meet the challenges ahead. Thank you. Oh,